Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video, and this one's going to be doing another event idea for like a sort of mini event, but it is on quite a big scale as well. I'm not really too sure where it kind of lies, but I'd say obviously definitely more a mini event than anything, than a big event. I don't think they'd be able to make the whole free act system, but I'm going to say it's an extended mini event. It's like a longer one if they're really they need to pull on some strings because they haven't got any other ideas. But anyway. So this is one based on the two-parter of Who Shot Mr. Burns. Now, the Who Shot Mr. Burns is really good episode, really two brilliant episodes, really funny, and the story overall is really good, and it's kind of a cool whodunit. Now, what I'm expecting for this one is it's going to be a different result on who did it, and that's going to depend on certain clues, if you know what I mean. Now, so there's going to be like, I don't know, like 20 different people it could have been. And in the end, every different like every town is gonna have a different person do it. Obviously, some people will have the same person who did it, but everyone's gonna have someone else who did it. So there's gonna be like 20 suspects, from Homer to Smithers to Maggie to actually no, the one they're gonna keep out is Maggie. She's definitely not gonna be a suspect. But anyway, here's the sort of first picture you can see. This is like the start of the event. So basically, it will start with Mr. Burns, and the reason I have a Mr. Burns picture here is it's going to start with Mr. Burns basically sort of going on about how he is going. He's coming up with this master plan to charge the Springfield loads of money, and it's going to give you the sun blocker for free. You place it down, and the whole Springfield goes dark. You can't see anything. It's just dark basically. And then you also unlock the sundial, which you place. Once you place the sundial, it's going to trigger an animation for Mr. Burns, where he's going to walk over to the sundial, and he's going to collapse, and he's going to be shot. Well, we see him get shot, and then he's going to collapse on the sundial. And then he sort of stays there until you trigger the next task. So the one thing that's going to happen, Mr. Burns' tasks are going to be inactive for this whole event, basically. But that's okay. And then we have some like donut items, basically. So first of all, we have Cramp Bell's Chunky Soup Maximum Security Prison. This is a prison on an island, so that's pretty cool. You can place that in the sea. That'd be really cool. Be be a building that earns cash. So that's kind of cool. The next thing is Ches Guevara with Tito Puente. Yeah, Puente. Now I know he's a real person. He died in 2000, but obviously he recorded it for The Simpsons. Obviously, now they've added Stephen Hawking and they've added dead presidents, so I don't see why they couldn't add him. I'm not too sure where they stand on that, but I'm gonna leave the option for him to be added with his like palace. I couldn't really get a brilliant picture, but that's sort of what his palace looks like, because it does that one thing where it sees the sign and it pans down to the building, but that's the best you can get. But yeah, they can add his him and his palace as a premium item, and then he's going to be also like not a suspect, but he'll be. Well, yeah, he'll be a character who can do the certain tasks, and then we also have Sniffy. He's an investigating dog. He's seen on the TV when Ken Brockman's doing his report. Eddie is seen with him on a leash sniffing around, and he's also seen in the episode where Bart takes the episode with Judge Harm. He's also in that one as well. So he's not a big character, but he's there. So I think they could just throw in Sniffy and as a premium, non-playable character. And then picture 2, this is where it gets interesting. So what I think should happen is after Mr. Burns gets shot, it gives you the now there's quite a few free items in this, which I guess that would be maybe a bit of an issue. But basically we have the Springfield Police Academy. Basically this is going to be free again, and it's basically you place it down, and basically there's going to be a task where Wiggum decides that he can't do it anymore. He doesn't understand. He doesn't know. He's confused. He's useless. So he goes away. He doesn't become a police officer anymore. Eddie and Lou follow him. I know this is away from what actually happened to the episode, but I'm just trying to make it a bit more interesting. So basically, what you can do is you send adult Springfield members. You can only send 3 at a time to the police academy to train to be police officers. Once they train the first time, that's brilliant. They can do it, and you can send any adult Springfielder from Radioactive Man to Homer to all these other people. You can send any of them to this police academy to train, and then what you'll do then is you'll have a thing where you can send them to certain buildings, to look for clues. So you look for clues, and then you collect so many clues. Different buildings will give you different amount of clues. It's going to be that'll be the sort of currency. So some buildings will give you clues. So the community can work together to say, you know, this building gives you loads of clues. This building doesn't. You know, the community can work together, and depending on sort of what buildings you investigated, it's going to give you a different result to who did it. And you don't get the who did it until you've sort of not until you complete the prize track, but until you've got so many clues. So it's a bit confusing. You also unlock Eliza Simpson costume for Lisa, so she also becomes an investigator, and she also becomes another person who can look for clues, and she gets more than the average. She gets like a sort of double, a ×2 on what that building would usually get. She gets like a double of what you would usually find. This is confusing, I know. I hope I've explained it well. So yeah, so the clues will, of course, they would also they're going to progress the story, but they're also going to give you prizes as well. So as you go along, you get different prizes for getting certain clues until you get your last sort of you know, your last clue and your last prize. It will tell you who did it, who did it in your town, and every town's going to be sort of slightly different, obviously. I don't know what it's going to depend on. It could just be random, or it could be depending on which buildings you investigated in which order or something like that. But to be honest, it would just be better if it was random. It'd be kind of cool, and then they could maybe have like a little promotion, like who did it in your Springfield, you know, who shot him in your Springfield. I don't know. So the first prize is a costume for Santa's little helper, which I think will be really, really cool and unique. This is the injured Santa's little helper, so he's got the little wheelie thing on the back, and he's obviously got the thing around his neck. Really, really cool costume. Of course, this is what happens when Mr. Burns has the drilling co. Of course, they'll bring back the drilling co as an item as well. Then we're going to get the FBI Springfield branch, because what's going to happen is they're going to be like, okay, we need more police, we need more thing. We're going to have to invite the FBI in. You know, this is a big thing. There's a big man who's been killed. He's quite famous and all that. Big man, big. You know what I mean. And it could come with Agent Sculler and Agent Mully. I know they're from the X-Files. I don't know what happens with the rights there. I'm pretty sure they probably would have to pay more, obviously, because they had to pay more for Futurama. So that's probably not going to happen, but I'm saying it would be cool if they came with it. But, I mean, the FBI Springfield branch on its own would be fine. Then we're going to get the Springfield State Prison as the next prize. Now, the reason for that is it's going to be like, well, basically, what I think should happen is it's going to be like, yeah, you in prison, you know, some random people when you you get these different it's like it's trying to do this whole it's basically a police event is my opinion. They should sort of a bit like how the monorail sort of morphed into the trash thing. I know that was a bad thing, but I'm hoping to try and get something similar to that, but a better result. Then there's also the Cathedral of Downtown. This is where Smithers admits to his sins of shooting Mr. Burns when he was mistaken, obviously when he has that dream, and that's where Wiggum catches him. So that'll just be a building to throw in there for that. We get Lady, who's the police dog that of course is Bart's dog. She's gonna sort of come in as and she'll have some tasks. She'll actually have she's gonna be a dog with tasks, unlike Sniffy. I think Sniffy can just be non-playable, but she can be playable. Moving on, we have the Springfield Juvenile Correctional Facility. This will be basically they think that the kids did it, or Maggie did it, and they're like, oh, we can send her there, but they're like, no, she's still too young. But also, you know, it gives the option to do some other tasks with some kids, with the kids, and maybe like, you know, accuse the kids of doing it and send some of them to that. That'd be kind of cool. And then the sort of final prize will be the FBI, the actual FBI headquarters, which I'm pretty sure is in Washington. I'm not too sure if it's in Washington, but I don't know. And you get this FBI agent who's called Agent Miller. He's kind of quite he was only in one episode, but he's kind of big in the episode, big-ish in the episode. So it'll be kind of a cool little last character. He's going to come in after you get him, and he's going to solve it. He's going to say, you know, these Springfielders are stupid. This is who did it. You know, this is what happened, and this is who did it. And we're going to find out who did it, and of course it's going to be different for everyone in it. You know, it's going to be different for everyone. So I've kind of badly explained that, I know, but I hope I did explain it kind of well. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed. Next week, not next week. Well, the next one of these ideas is actually going to be a big event. So don't you worry, I won't be doing these small events. I like to do these smaller events to sort of split it out. But I hope you enjoyed anyway. So thanks for watching, guys. Please comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you next video. Goodbye.